There's a lot happening in the world, and I feel like we're in an all hands on deck moment for a lot of reasons. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I don't think that I'm being extreme in saying that we are in a particular time in history that will be remembered forever, for a lot of reasons. But I also feel like we are hearkening back to a time when, we shouldn't be in that time. Maybe we never left Jim Crow. Maybe we never left it. Several people I've heard say we're now with James Crow Esquire. Like he's gotten more sophisticated, took off the hood, put on a tie. Maybe now he's wearing jeans and bought Twitter. I don't know. But yeah, maybe we never left. Maybe we never left, or maybe we didn't do enough to eradicate Jim Crow. So in Tennessee, those of you who live in Tennessee, hi. I want to know what you're doing about this. Last week, a lawmaker proposed. His name is Dennis. It was a bill, HB 1245, originally introduced by Representative Dennis Powers, who they have instituted the death penalty there. So they were instituting bills on how to carry out the death of inmates, right? Dennis Powers instituted death by electrocution, the electric chair, and he also wanted to add firing squad, death by firing squad. Well, Representative Paul Sherrill said, hold my beer. How about public hangings? Basically, let's lynch people as a possible means of execution in Tennessee. You can't make this stuff up, and you can't tell me he doesn't understand the history of hanging people in this country, especially when Black men are disproportionately incarcerated, not because they're criminals. Some of them are criminals, but they get policed. They also are targeted. They also are part of the butt clause. And you can't tell me that if you have a butt clause in the abolishment of slavery, that you aren't intending to re-enslave Black people. You're not trying to enslave white people, but for incarceration, there's no slavery will be abolished, but for. Yeah, so we're planning to execute the but for through criminalizing activities in the Black community with Black people and reincarcerating and re-enslaving folk. And now we want to kill them when they are, given the death penalty. Let's do the firing squad. Let's bring that back. Let's bring the electric chair back. Oh, yes. Representative Paul Sherrill, what you say? Oh, you want to hang people. So that got a lot of attention. Now, I don't know if this is fundraising, and maybe it's fundraising because I think Marjorie Trader Green is a fundraising animal. She's doing things for the gram because it's financially expedient, because I don't know what her other talents are besides trolling and cheating and lying. Those are talents, great talents for Congress, I think, great talents to hold office, but she doesn't really provide any other value to society. This is how she makes her money. So I'm thinking maybe, I didn't know who Paul Sherrill was from Tennessee before this, but perhaps this is how he makes his money. So he issued an apology after, of course, the backlash. Representative G.A. Hardaway was like, I cannot believe that I'm hearing somebody pushing lynching. So I'm going to play the clip. This went on in the floor of Tennessee Representative Chambers. Play it.
I regret that I used some very poor judgment in voicing my support of a colleague's bill in Criminal Justice Committee. I sincerely apologize to anyone who may I have hurt or offended. Thank you.
I couldn't believe that I was hearing that. We've got to acknowledge that there is a cultural problem on the Hill. Make an effort to be better behind this. All of us need to work, but those who are silent in the face of those comments really need to work. It evokes the sordid history of not just Tennessee, but of America, of those days when lynchings were a common practice, when due process was denied to Black men. Let's have a grown folks conversation. I wasn't alive back then either, but I can assure you that multi-generational trauma still exist. I probably would have accepted the apology a lot better if the representative had come to those on the committee and offered such an apology. It doesn't seem sincere to me when it's made public. I've tried to be a gentleman and scholar since I was elected, but to sit there and have a statement made that only evokes in the minds of anyone who has any sense of history of lynchings, racial lynchings, has pushed me past my point. Mr. Speaker, I'm looking forward to working with you in leadership on how we improve the tone, how we create a better atmosphere. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Mm-hmm. I love the quotes, but and I love the outrage and the passion exhibited by Godfrey Hardaway Sr., born June 18th, 1954 in Meridian, Mississippi. G.A. Hardaway. But yeah, no, yeah, and I agree. You know, this Cheryl character knew what he was doing. Republican representing the district, 43rd district in the Tennessee House of Representatives. He was born in 1959. So, I mean, the vestiges of Jim Crow, because Jim Crow lasted a lot longer, you know, in the South, de facto, de jure, a lot fewer time in the North, even though it was there as well. It is, but it's a statement that he felt comfortable saying that out loud. Usually people say the inside thing inside. Now everyone's saying everything out loud. Deion Sanders, problematic ass, we're going to talk about him today, saying this stuff out loud for everybody to hear, which tells me that you're emboldened by something greater than your own hubris. Like, you know, something. There's conversations being had behind the scenes where you know you feel comfortable saying these things out loud because you have the backing of people. This is what concerns me. There was a time that somebody like Paul Sherrill would get up and say such a thing and he would lose his career. A Marjorie Taylor Greene would get up and yell in the middle of the State of the Union and lose her career. They're doing these things, or the governor of Texas or the governor of Florida, they would lose their careers behind the things, the hateful things that are coming out of their mouths and the policies that they're signing off on. But the fact that they're not only saying it and not losing their careers, but somehow raising money, like being boasted by it, tells me there's something else going on here. Speaking of Mississippi, where G.A. Hardaway is from, we talked about the takeover, the apartheid system instituted in Mississippi around Jackson when Republican state lawmakers pushed to take over the city of Jackson, disenfranchising local voters. It's a predominantly Black city. We know Jackson State. Shout out to Deion Sanders again, not in a good way. You were exactly what I thought you were. An ignorant, tap dancing, clout seeking, attention seeking, for yourself, selfish individual. You are exactly what I thought you were. I was trying not to say all of those things about you, but you've proven that you are what I thought you were. I'm saying it inside. Now I'm going to say it outside my mouth for the public to hear. You're exactly what I thought you were. And you're dangerous because you're sitting there with your being patted on the head, displaying your entire ignorance to the world. And these back rooms are chuckling at our expense because of you. That's why I have a problem. You know, take your own self down, but not the rest of us with your ignorance, please. Shh. But Mississippi proposed legislature to reshape Jackson, and all y'all defending him, by the way, because you know y'all love Deion Sanders, the same people that defend the NFL because you love the Saints or you love the Atlanta team or you love the Jets or the Giants because you love your teams and you wear their jerseys. So when someone challenges your commitment to Black freedom, you get upset about it because, you know, it's not that serious, but it really is, because you don't have a moral standing or character to actually stand up for what is right. But when we say these things, it's like it's an attack or we're going too far. No, it's you're either hot or cold. You're either with it or you're not. You can't be lukewarm on freedom and humanity. You just can't. There's no sidelines for this. If you really care, put your money where your mouth is, your eyeballs and your algorithms where your actual heart is. So Mississippi has an apartheid system that was legislated. As I mentioned, Nazi Germany, Third Reich came in through elections. This is how it happens. This is why I know it's deeper, because it's happening in many different places. So here's what they did. The Mississippi Criminal Justice Bill, which passed by the state's House of Representatives earlier in February, would create a new separate court system in Jackson, downtown, for the Jackson residents to go before judges and prosecutors not from their community. Y'all good with that? Where are the marches? Who's in the streets in Jackson over this? Come on, y'all. White residents who moved out of the suburbs. Jackson fell to 56% Black, but now it's governed. 83% Black. I'm sorry. 83% Black city now governed by white, not majority whites. How does that work? The water's already jacked up. Okay. And in Texas Republicans introduced a bill to give huge tax cuts to, get this is getting really strange, straight couples having children. So if you are heterosexual having children, you get tax cuts in Texas. We're going to talk with Lou Hutt later. With 100% cut in property taxes if you have 10 children. What is going on? You know what's going on. It's why abortion got overturned. You know what's going on. It's a numbers game, because there are human beings who believe that they are their race, that they're their race over being human, that there are human beings who put whiteness above all things, which is a power structure. It's a construct, but that is so important to them that the numbers are everything, which means we have to outlaw abortion because white women are getting abortions. It was never really about Black women, y'all. They don't care how many children we have, other than us having children that outnumber them, right? So the us and them, you see the us and them, you've seen the numbers. 2042, it's going to be majority, minority, whatever that means, country. Y'all are really sick. You're sick and depraved. You need counseling, but unfortunately your sickness is killing us where we live. This is some Handmaid's Tale. They passed a bill for this. Get married, stay married, and be fruitful is basically what the bill says. This is really, really interesting. 866-801-8255. So yeah, I'm going to be talking with people in the political realm, because we got to vote, and it's not just vote for the Democrats because they're the best and Biden's awesome. And no, it's vote for your damn life and your freedom. Do you care about your life and your freedom? Because listen, to be able to move freely about this country is super important. Somebody like me, I want to get in an RV, maybe travel across the country, go west, go south. I want to be able to travel and not worry about stand your ground here and open carry there. And, is there a Confederate flag here? What kind of way? Is this a sundown town? Where am I? Like, can I stop at a restaurant to get something? Can I go pee at this gas station? Wait a minute. Where are we? In South Carolina? I don't know if is it safe? Do I have enough gas? Do I have enough charging my electric vehicle to get through this damn state to get to the next? And then when I get to the next, where am I? In Florida, Georgia? Is that problematic? Okay, I can get to Atlanta, but what about certain parts of North Carolina? Lord have mercy. This should not be the way Americans move about.